And we kick off our Yuletide look at the year with a reminder of the Bells Premier League table on January the 1st. Leaders Rangers had just opened up a 10-point lead at the top after beating nearest rivals Motherwell 3-1 at Fir Park, and seem well on the way to their 7th straight title.
If it was as it was in previous seasons, only 2 points for a win, we would be happier. But last season, Manchester United, I think, had something like a 15 or 16 point lead in Blackburn, and then later on in the season, Blackburn had clawed most of that back. So we have to be careful. We're very pleased in the position we're in at the present moment.
Rangers' next big test would come 2 days later with a traditional New Year's Old Firm game at Ibrox.
McCall's lob into the box falls kindly for Ian Ferguson, and he makes no mistake. Charlie Miller gets a vital touch to take the ball away from the defender, and Ferguson has a fairly simple tap-in. Then a superb sequence of play from Celtic. Rangers unable, it seemed, to get control of the ball. Paul Byrne finally rounding off the move with a spectacular volley.
And like so many Old Firm New Year's Day games, an inconclusive draw the result. And that for Rangers, a minor hiccup. But for Celtic, a major boost going into the new year. But while Rangers were having an average January, their nearest challengers, Motherwell, were having a wretched time.
It was the visitors who took the lead after 22 minutes. Tommy Coyne back on his old stamping ground, slotting the ball past O'Hanlon for his 17th goal of the season. But from then on, it was all United. New Brazilian signing Sergio showed off his skill. And then McKinley beat Howie with a delicate lob. Then a controversial penalty. Daly appearing to trip himself up, but a penalty was awarded. Motherwell were far from happy, but McKinley wasn't complaining as he scored his and Dundee's second. (2-1) at half-time, but some slack play by Dolan, and Brewster seized his opportunity to put United further ahead. A poor clearance by Howie gave the ball to Nixon, and his neat footwork and shot punished the Motherwell goalkeeper. 4 minutes later, the man from Trinidad was at it again. He was given plenty of space by the defenders, and he made no mistake on the slippery surface, and it was 5-1 to United. Motherwell were in a state of shock when Nixon turned provider. His cross was met by Christian Daly, and it was 6-1.
That stinging defeat came on top of losses to Rangers, Hearts and Kilmarnock, and suddenly Motherwell's title challenge had evaporated. Rangers were now 14 points clear of Hibernian and on their way to the title. The final weekend of January brought the third round of the Tennent's Scottish Cup and the romance that always accompanies it. The snowbound Highlands were the setting for one of the most unlikely clashes between two of the game's real minnows. It took an army of helpers to get the pitch playable, and even then it was in doubt.
Huntley got off to a great start. An unfortunate back header, and Stewart made it 1-0 after 20 minutes. 7 minutes later, a corner on the right produced Huntly's second. The ball played back in from the left, and White with a simple finish. Then more bad luck for Burns Island. Laurie first to the corner, but he only succeeded in scoring an own goal. And just before half-time, some hesitant defending let in Thompson. That made it 4-0. Things didn't get any better after the break. A good move down the left, finished off by De Barros. The keeper got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. Within 2 minutes, it was 6-0. Stewart with a free header. Congratulations all round, but it wasn't over yet. Great work down the right wing. A good cross, and again it was Stewart on the end for his hat-trick. 7-0 to Huntly, a miserable afternoon for Burns Island.
In the next round, Huntly had a dream home tie with Premier Division Dundee United. A record crowd of 4,500 packed into the tiny ground home to the Highland League champions. Huntly, of course, the biscuit capital of Scotland. But United had no intention of crumbling, as Craig Brewster led the charge in a 3-1 win for United. No shocks here, but Aberdeen found second division Stenhousemuir quite a handful.
The home side always looked as if they might score, but they were helped in their cause by some dismal Aberdeen defending. Ewan Donaldson with the header to Jimmy Fisher. Again, the defence struggled to clear. The ball broke to Tommy Steele, who half-volleyed it into the net. 1-0 Stenhousemuir. And jubilation off and on the park. Stenhousemuir, though, didn't just pack their defence and hope that a single goal would be enough. They wanted more, much to the despair of the Aberdeen fans. And they got the reward. Adrian Scrop with the corner, and Tommy Steele with his second to seal Aberdeen's fate and bring about one of the biggest cup upsets in more than 30 years.
And if that wasn't a big enough surprise, more was to follow 2 days later when the runaway league leaders went to Edinburgh.
At stake, a place in the quarter-finals against Dundee United, and it was the home team who struck first, from this free kick by Canadian international Colin Miller. Rangers did have their chances in the opening half. This header from Gordon Dury. But sloppy defending let the league leaders down. Craig Moore headed towards his own goal, and Dave McPherson said, "Thanks very much." 2-0 to Hearts. There was more than a suspicion of handball in this move, which might have earned Rangers a penalty. But 2 goals down, Rangers launched themselves forward in the second half, and within 90 seconds were rewarded. Brian Loudrup starting and finishing this flowing move. 10 minutes later, Dury atoned for his earlier miss by heading Rangers level at 2 each. But there was plenty of heart left in the opposition, and when Rangers stand-in keeper Ali Maxwell failed to hold this shot, John Robertson stole in to score a third for the Edinburgh club. In a fast and furious finale, Rangers laid siege to the home goal, but that elusive equaliser just wouldn't come. And 2 minutes from time, substitute Kevin Thomas secured a famous victory with Hearts 4th, sending the Tynecastle faithful into ecstasy.
And with that famous victory, Hearts secured a quarter-final place against Dundee United. Stenhousemuir's reward for beating Aberdeen was another home tie, while Celtic were now being made the new favourites with the bookies. Bad bad weather affected some of the March programme, but of the matches that survived, the Edinburgh clubs enjoyed the best of form. Both Hearts and Hibs reached the semi-finals of the Cup by the time Hearts met Rangers again in the league.
Bet looking for Hagan. Well, Hagan has it now from McLaren's headed clearance. That's good play from Mackay. Robertson's onside. Is Leach inside? There's Robertson! 1-0 for Hearts! Nine minutes of the first half gone. Jubilation again for the Hearts supporters. Here's McCall with a shooting chance perhaps. Oh, that's very well read by McPherson. Leads the charge for Hearts. Hagan to the left. McPherson continues the run with John Miller. They want the ball flighted across. There's John Miller with a header. And a second for Hearts. Sheer brilliance from Hearts. Fury's head flick finds Loudrup. A chance on here for Rangers. Loudrup assessing the options. That's a great goal! Well, he had nothing on inside him. He was on his own here. Looked up, assessed all the options, and then chipped that beyond Nelson to give Rangers the first goal. Jury did well with a header. That caught Neil Berry on the wrong side of Loudrup. And from this point on, he's on his own. Looks up for support. There isn't any. Then sees Nelson off his line. It's a great goal.
It had been an insipid month for Rangers, who failed to win the football match, and yet by the end of it all they still led the Premier League by 12 points. What was interesting was the struggle that was developing at the foot of the table, with two of the powers of Scottish football in the past decade, Aberdeen and Dundee United, both involved. Hearts were now through to the Cup semi-finals, and surely in with a great chance of going one more step against First Division Airdrie.
Here's Harvey. Still in possession, wants to take on players inside the box. Back to Andy Smith. Chance off for Cooper! The goal's been coming for Airdrie, and Steve Cooper has delivered.
So a major upset for Hearts, but what of the other half of the Edinburgh duo? Hibernian's tie with Celtic went to a replay.
Collins, back here with Paul McStay. Great ball in for Faulkner. That's Milner! Brilliant play from Celtic. Willie Faulkner puts them ahead. Well, I think the half-time whistle will come as some kind of blessed relief for Hibs. Only one goal down, but it could so easily have been 2 or 3. Millen, a little trouble there. Out it comes to Collins. Delightful finish from Collins. Measured into the corner. Graham Mitchell has come sprinting across from left back to offer himself to receive the throw. He's now gone back. Here's Millen. Keith Wright's header looking for McGinley. Now Wright. Hibs are back in the match. The pressure has paid off. Chance on there for the header. That'll settle it. Bill O'Donnell for Celtic.
So Celtic 3-1 winners, and they would now play First Division Airdrie the following month in a Tennent's Scottish Cup final. And while all this was happening, Rangers were clinching the league title prematurely after a 3-1 win also over Hibernian.
The players now go into the centre circle with their management team to take a final salute from this capacity crowd. It really has has been a marvellous afternoon's entertainment. So 9 glorious years for Walter Smith at Ibrox. This party will go on for some considerable time yet.
Rangers were celebrating 5 weeks before the end of the season. They finished 15 points clear and were worthy champions for a 7th time running. But at the other end of the table, a run of good results had saved Partick Thistle, but ditched Dundee United into the First Division. Now Aberdeen had to face a 2-leg playoff with First Division champions Dunfermline. If they lost, they too would be relegated for the first time in their 92-year history. They won the first leg 3-1 at Pittodrie and then had to face a tricky trip to East End Park.
Peter Hetherston, former Raith man then. Often in the thick of the action. Although watching now as Wright's cross lands on the head of Billy Dodds, and that's the vital first goal of the night, scored by Billy Dodds.
And that set the Dons on their way to another 3-1 win, 6-2 on aggregate, and a lot of relieved faces after this one. In that same week, we were at Hampden Park for the 110th Scottish Cup final, Celtic against First Division Airdrie.
Well, the balloons are released as the sides appear down below from the tunnel led by the match officials. The referee Les Montrum out first, and the two teams emerge. The last nervous stages before the match, the presentation to the dignitaries to come. But it really is a marvellous setting, and there is still that something special about Hampden Park on Cup Final Day, even though the capacity is reduced. John Martin, 36-year-old goalkeeper, can't resist the opportunity to kiss royalty, and that sets the tone all down the Airdrie team. I'm not sure if this was in the Chief Executive Jim Farry's plans. Well, there's no complaint, obviously, from Her Royal Highness. Jimmy Johnston, a legendary figure, the Celtic team of the 60s and 70s, signing autographs. He will be, I'm sure, until the day dies. So here's Barton now with the goal for Celtic. McLaughlin sends over a good cross, that's awkward. Jimmy Boyle scrambles the ball away, but only as far as McKinley. That's for Van Hooijdonk. Great header! And Celtic are ahead! Pierre Van Hooijdonk scores his 8th goal in Celtic colours and sets the cup final alight. It's a long way up as he's congratulated by so many people on the way. The moment Paul McStay's been waiting for, the presentation of the Tennent's Scottish Cup to Paul McStay. And Tommy Bond savoured the moment like all the supporters all around. They've waited 6 long years for this.
So another season complete. Rangers champions for a 7th successive time. Motherwell and the Coca-Cola Cup winners Raith Rovers went into Europe. Raith also promoted back to the Premier League. And Celtic at long last with a trophy to savour. Could this be the start of a new era for Celtic? A new season and a new star arrives in time to strengthen a Rangers team already by far the best in Scotland.
I feel fresh. I haven't played really. I've only played about 30 games in 3 years, so I still feel about 25 inside of us. I think that the most important for me now is just enjoying my football and try and achieve a few things with Glasgow.
Gascoigne was brought primarily to help steer Rangers to European success.
Almost the first goal.
McCall, the target. and he did well to make the cross, and there's a chance here.
A good start for Gascoigne, and Rangers beating the Cypriot champions. Rangers now had Gascoigne teaming up with Scotland's Player of the Year Laudrup, plus a fit again Ali McCoist. They entered the Champions League full of optimism. Back at home, Rangers opened their domestic programme with a narrow home win over Kilmarnock.
So the Rangers chairman, David Murray, comes out to huge applause to unfurl Rangers' 7th consecutive championship flag, and their 8th in 9 years. So a proud moment for David Murray. Rangers' 45th overall championship, the first shared with Dumbarton way back in 1891. Robertson, who can deliver the long throw. It's in towards Richard Gough. It comes off Whitworth. Here's a chance for McCoist, and it's McCall! Stuart McCall scores for Rangers!
The Scottish national team, meanwhile, were on their way through to the finals of Euro '96. This win over Greece, courtesy of an Ali McCoist goal, one of 3 home wins this autumn, and the Scots will now proudly take their place alongside Europe's elite in England next summer. And confirmation here that Scotland will meet the old enemy for the first time since 1989, thus reenacting the oldest international in world football. The match will be at Wembley Stadium on Saturday, June the 15th. And Scotland open their group matches against Holland at Villa Park, Birmingham on Monday, June the 10th. Spain, one of the most impressive of the qualifying nations, open their tournament against World Cup semi-finalist Bulgaria on June the 9th at Ellen Road, Leeds. Germany and Italy have been paired together in Group C, and they clash head-on at Old Trafford on June the 19th in what could be the group decider. The final 4 teams will contest Group D, where the seeded team are the holders Denmark. 2 nations from each group will go through to the quarter-finals, and the final will be at Wembley on June the 30th. Across Glasgow, meanwhile, Celtic had returned home with their £17 million new North Stand now complete. The arrival of millionaire Fergus McCann the previous year, a real boost to Celtic's fortunes. The new stand, just one of the benefits. Here's another, Andreas Thom, the £2.2 million German striker from Bayer Leverkusen. Suddenly, a more promising future seemed in store for Celtic.
Well, I think with a club like Celtic, a big club and an institution, in actual fact, with their supporters, and it's so important to them, to go 5-6 years without winning anything, brings intolerable pressure, to be perfectly honest, not only in the players and the management, but also in the supporters that support the club every week. And they in turn have to go into their daily jobs and have to put up with all the jibes and the criticisms and the stick and everything for their workmates and everything, wherever they are, whatever they're doing. And as each year goes by and you're not successful, then you know the pressure multiplies and becomes more and more and more. So it was imperative that we had to win something our first year. Unfair, I felt, to come in and be expected to win something immediately, but it was something we knew we had to take or undertake and to go and do that. And thank the Lord we managed to do that. We started to turn the wheel a wee bit towards getting success for Celtic again.
And Celtic's first major test was against Rangers at the end of September, but it didn't quite turn out the way they would have wanted.
Salenko. Well, that's good play, good footwork. Looking for Cleland. Great header! Alec Cleland for Rangers! Van Hooydonk waits in the middle. Poor cross though, one easily by McLaren. 2 against 2 up front here. Salenko and McCoist together. That's good play by Salenko. McCoist is Gascoigne racing through the middle. It's great play for Rangers. And Gascoigne has scored!
That goal had suddenly elevated Gascoigne to superstar status at Ibrox, as Celtic's new ambitions were quashed, albeit temporarily. And despite some worrying European form, Rangers reigned supreme throughout October. But neither Rangers nor Celtic reached the Coca-Cola Cup final in November. as Aberdeen, so close to relegation a few months earlier, took on First Division Dundee.
Dodds, the layoff, straight to Veecost. That's McKimmie. Former Dundee player also. Good running by Glass, great ball in! Dodds for Aberdeen! So Joe Miller has started the second half, wide on the right-hand side. So Aberdeen ringing the tactical changes in that sense. Here's Stephen Glass on the left, an excellent first half. Oh, great sleight of foot there. Duncan Shearer! 2-0 to Aberdeen. And once again, the creator was 19-year-old Stephen Glass.
So on their way back, a trophy for Aberdeen for the first time in 6 seasons. And it means that the Dons are the first team to qualify for European football next season. The battle, though, for Scottish football's biggest prize looks likely at last to be hotly pursued by Celtic as well as Rangers, on the evidence of the last and most certainly the best Old Firm match of the year.
The customary roar greets both teams. Richard Gough leading Rangers, Paul McStay leading Celtic. A full house here at Ibrox Stadium. Tom Boyd, who emerges with the ball, flips it through, looking for Donnelly. This is Tom. Andreas Tom's going to try one here. Oh, that is an incredible goal by Andreas Tom. What a mighty strike, an awesome strike. 9 minutes gone here at Ibrox Stadium. There's jubilation among the Celtic fans. A stunning goal by Andreas Tom. So the way Rangers have laid out the stall this afternoon, they're not really in a position to put a lot of pressure on the Celtic defence, but maybe there's something on here. Robertson starts another one of those runs. Oh, it's a great pass through by Laudrup. Still it's Robertson for a chance here. And David Robertson equalises for Rangers. What a magnificent pass that was from Laudrup. The perfectly weighted pass.
Incredibly, a linesman's flag was up and referee Hugh Dallas disallowed this goal for offside against Robertson. As we look again at the incident, when Laudrup passed the ball, Robertson was clearly onside, and Rangers can feel hard done by here. You can hear the Rangers crowd are upset with that decision, but it's no goal, and we now rejoin the game in the 39th minute with Celtic still leading 1-0.
Touch from Richard Gough. This is Gascoigne. Still it's Gascoigne forcing it through. Chance on here for Laudrup. And it's a great goal by Laudrup. And this time it definitely counts. 39 minutes. Rangers 1, Celtic 1. So there's Tom who strikes it. Hughes as well forward. Claims for a penalty kick there as he was challenged, and it's given. Oh, the referee appeared to hesitate. Richard Gough went with John Hughes. It certainly looked a penalty kick from here. The referee took his time about it, had a think, and then pointed. So, John Collins starts his run, and it's gone in. And again, the Celtic fans celebrate. 51 minutes gone here. John Collins puts Celtic ahead. Rangers 1, Celtic 2. Again, Gough's forward, so too is Petric. Again, there's a fair bit of movement the far side of the box. Gascoigne strikes it in. And it's there. Super Ali does it again. Ali McCoist for Rangers. It's a slack one by Boyd. Almost allowing Solenka to come in. He's got it again. So Celtic with it all to do now. Tosh McKinley gives the cross. It's Van Hooydonk. And that's in. Well, this is quite incredible. 3 goals apiece here at Ibrox.
A marvellous match, one of the best Old Firm clashes in years, and confirmation that Rangers are not going to have the second half of this season all their own way. And here a look at the final Premier League table going into the Christmas period, with Celtic trailing by just 2 points. We'll be back in the new year with a complete wrap of the Christmas and Hogmanay programmes.